What is up, Sexy Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be comparing the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows to the EISENDRACHE bows, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So for this versus, we're going to be looking at a couple different things. 1, how many kills these weapons can get and how much ammo they actually hold. 2, how fast they can actually kill. 3, how easy it actually is to acquire these bows. And lastly, I'll give you my final verdict and what sort of scenarios I would use these weapons in. So let's go ahead and start off with how many kills and how much ammo these things actually do hold. So the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows are going to carry 21 shots for each crossbow. And each crossbow, I would say, can get 24 kills. Some can get more, some can get a little bit less. I'm just going to go ahead and set the benchmark at 24 kills because that's really how many zombies can spawn in on the map at once. Some bows could probably get a little bit more, but I'm just going to go ahead and top it off at 24. So if we do a little bit of math, we multiply how much ammo they actually have by how many kills they can get, I'm going to roughly say that each crossbow can get around 500 kills, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but I'm going to go ahead and say 500 is around the average. Now if we multiply that by 4, because there's 4 crossbows, we're going to get roughly around 2,000. Again, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. All really depends on how exactly you use this crossbow, which one you're using, how fast the zombies are spawning in, and so on and so on. So roughly on average, you're going to be able to get around 2,000 kills with all these crossbows combined. And if we look at the EISENDRACHE bows, these things are a little bit different. With the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows, they just shoot automatically, you don't have to charge or anything. But with the EISENDRACHE bows, you actually do have to charge it. So you're going to start off with 75 arrows, but it takes 2 arrows per charged shot. So really, you have about 37 shots if you fully charge it, and really, if you don't fully charge it, you're kind of just wasting your time. Especially if you're going for high rounds, you have to fully charge it. So that's what I'm going to be considering. We're not even going to be looking at the uncharged shot because it's really pointless. So the EISENDRACHE bows really have 37 shots, and each bow, I would say, can kill 24 zombies. So if we do a little bit of ghetto math, 37 times 24 is going to give us around 880 kills. So just one EISENDRACHE bow can roughly get around almost 900 kills, while the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbow was roughly around 500. So the EISENDRACHE bow is literally almost double what the RAVE and the REDWOODS bow can do, mainly just because it carries more ammo. And if we times that number by 4, we're going to get roughly around 3,500, which again is almost double what the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows can do. So when it comes to ammo and kills, you gotta give it to the EISENDRACHE bows. They just carry so much more ammo. Yeah, you do have to charge a shot and it takes 2 arrows per shot, but I'll definitely take that charged shot as long as I get almost literally double what the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows can do. So next up, we're going to be looking at speed. So when it comes to speed, RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows automatically win this, and I kind of like them for it. So with each EISENDRACHE bow, if you want to use like the fully charged shot, the one that actually does something, you're going to have to charge it back, which is going to cost you 2 arrows per shot, and it's going to take a couple seconds, like nothing too huge, like 5 seconds, but that second or 2 can make all the difference. There's been some times when I almost went down because I couldn't get that charged shot off in time. Now it's a very rare occurrence. Usually you get that shot off, and as soon as you get that shot off, anything like around you is going to die. So it's pretty safe then, but you do have to charge it, and that second or 2 of you having to charge it can mean life or death depending on which situation you're actually in. Now when it comes to the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows, these things activate automatically. And depending on which crossbow you have, so if you have like the Acid Rain one, the Whirlwind one, or the Lightning one, they're going to kill almost immediately. Like as soon as you shoot, everything around you is probably going to die. Now with the Trap-O-Matic one, it's a little bit different, because that one you kind of have to set up where exactly you want that little death laser to be. So the Trap-O-Matic one I would definitely say is like on par with the EISENDRACHE ones, because you have to actually set up the little death laser and the zombies to actually run into that. So it's not really going to be killing as soon as you shoot the thing, but if you actually do shoot the zombies with these arrows and don't actually even set off the death laser, they're still going to die. So these arrows are very, very deadly even if you don't activate the ability. So when it comes to speed, the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows are definitely going to be the winner. So lastly, we're going to be talking about how to acquire each of these bows. So when it comes to acquiring them, RAVE and the REDWOODS is pretty simple. In reality, it's really just going to take you a couple rounds, and that's really about it, and getting some kills. There's really nothing too hard about getting the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows. Really kind of once you get like almost half the map open, you can probably start getting these crossbows. All it's really going to take is a couple zombie kills, and for you to just progress through the rounds and kill zombies. That's really about it when it comes to the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows. You're also going to have the little wiener sausage, and that's really easy to get. All you have to do is go to Pack-a-Punch. So the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows are very, very easy to acquire. Now the EISENDRACHE bows, on the other hand, they are a little bit more harder, and they are a little bit more complicated. There's actually a lot of steps to do for each bow. Now it's nothing too tedious like Origins. Oh god, don't even get started on Origins. Having to run back and forth from the crazy place fucking drives me insane. But the EISENDRACHE bows are a little bit simpler. They're not as easy as the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows because those are just so fucking easy, but they're not impossible to get. Some are a little bit more harder than others. Like if you're trying to get the lava one and you just suck ass at trick shotting and you can't get that arrow to land in that circle, you might be wasting all your points, especially if you're on an early round just trying to get that bow upgraded, and some of them you have to actually just keep waiting and waiting until a certain thing can actually happen. So when it comes to which is easier to acquire, the RAVE and the REDWOODS crossbows are going to be 10 times easier to acquire than the EISENDRACHE bows. So for my final verdict, the footage we're actually seeing on screen is going to be certain bows compared to each other. I really couldn't figure out which ones to compare. I didn't know if I wanted to do them by like element or by effect, so I did them like this. The whirlwind is going to go up against the wolf because they sort of act similar. The lightning one is going to go against the lightning one because duh. The acid raid one is going to go against the lava because I really didn't know which one to put it against. And lastly, the trap-o-matic is going to be going against the void because I really didn't know which one to put this against because none of the EISENDRACHE bows are really kind of even similar to it. So I decided to put these two against each other just so that way you guys can see the differences between these crossbows and the EISENDRACHE bows. So my final verdict. When it comes to which one I would rather have for an Easter egg, I'm going to go with the RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS. And I might be thinking, why the fuck wouldn't you want the EISENDRACHE bows? If I'm doing an Easter egg, I'm not trying to go for far rounds, so I'm not looking for something that's going to get me a lot of kills over time. I'm not wanting something like that. I'm wanting speed and efficiency, and that's exactly what the RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS actually have. If you're going for an Easter egg, you want something that can kill and can kill fast if you're ever about to get cornered. You want something that's reliable and fast, and especially if you're going against the boss zombie. Having a lot of ammo and getting a lot of kills isn't really number one on my priority if I'm trying to do the Easter egg. I would rather have something that I can acquire really quick and that just activates as soon as I want it to activate. Now if I'm going for far rounds, that's when I'm going to want to have the EISENDRACHE bows. Of course, like obviously I'm going to want to have them. They can almost literally get double the amount of kills that the RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS can have, so of course I'm going to want them. And even though it takes a little bit longer to actually get them, and they don't activate like the second you want them to activate, they just get so many more kills than the RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS that it's just like the obvious choice. So if I'm trying to do the Easter egg and trying to do the boss fight, I'm going to go with the RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS. They're faster to get and they activate quicker, but if I'm going for high rounds, I'm going to go with the EISENDRACHE bows just because when it comes to kills, they just fucking smash the crossbows from RAVE and the REDWOODS. Like, it's not even a competition when it comes to that. So I'm very curious to know, which bows do you guys prefer? The RAVE and the REDWOODS CROSSBOWS or the EISENDRACHE bows? And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys like to see me compare any other bows to staves or to any other wonder weapons, let me know in the comments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. Peace.